Hello, listeners. Hello, viewers. If you're watching on Twitch, thank you for walking along with the walk on. I am Joe Walkowski here for the Props Network. If you're listening on the weekend via Spotify or iTunes, I'm happy for that too. It is Friday. We're looking forward to week 2 of the NFL season. And of course, my friend, basketball legend, he's a great swing four, he's Steve Clark, our expert NFL analyst, our great blogger here at the Props Network. He will be joining us for our Friday afternoon prop drop. So we are live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere but C-SPAN, but we will be legislating all picks and props for this weekend. And, I'll be highlighting some dudes with props in week 1. While we're here, let's give a little bit of leadership. I'm talking about, of course, the Props Network, TPN, if you are one of the cool kids on the back of the bus. And the Props Network is great. If you're wagering on NFL, NBA, MLB, MMA, or any sport, you want to be going to the propsnetwork.com before you bet. The propsnetwork.com has bonuses, free bets, and live odd comparisons from all the best legal sportsbook in the U.S. So you might be wondering, why are live odds comparisons so valuable? What does that mean to me? Well, book different odds and you're going to find better value if you shop around. I will tie this to my own life. I love the Vikings this week, not because I love the Vikings, because I hate Phillip Rivers. In a lot of books, they have the Vikings plus 2.5. Some books plus 3.5. So just to illustrate the value of it. So let's bring in 52-yard Steve Clark, and let's prop it like it's hot. What's up, Steve?
Oh, boy. What a start.
I didn't know you could hear that. I'm trying, It's going cold. I know Hey, when you were driving the ship at the Pilot on NFL podcast, I was encouraging. It was a good team. I was like, Steve, that was some great hosting. You're real smooth. Brother, welcome aboard.
What's up, man? I'm sorry about what happened to your Lions on Sunday.
You know what? Let's maybe gloss over that because I'm not ready to talk about it.
It's been 5 days. When are you going to talk about it?
Yeah, but it's not just 5 days. We saw that same loss 10 times last year. We literally 10 fourth-quarter leads in the 2019 season.
Yeah.
And you knew it was happening.
You knew it.
If you're a Bears fan with us right now, don't be feeling good about Trubisky. What happened in that game was 4 Lions cornerbacks had hamstring injuries. Literally the top 4. I lived to analyze the Detroit Lions 53-man depth chart, and when I saw number 34 playing cornerback, a special teamer, I was like, oh boy, MVP Trubisky's back.
Yeah, baby. And then that drop. Oh, that you got to feel bad for the kid.
And you got to feel bad for Lions fans because we see Clyde Edwards-Helaire dominating the NFL season.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, well, we got the guy who's a great pass catcher. Well, how is his pass catching in week 1?
Yikes.
Hey, while we're talking about my team, let me give you some stuff. The Rams of Los Angeles from St. Louis, that's how you started rooting for them. They looked awesome that last week.
They look great. I was very pleasantly surprised. I do think we got a little bit of a break from the ref, first of all, and from Mike McCarthy, for whatever reason, not kicking a field goal when he's inside the Rams red zone and it's a 3-point game. I don't really understand the call in the fourth quarter, but I'll take it. We got to hold on to the lead. And here's the thing. A lot of people are complaining about that call, that pass interference call, saying it's not pass interference. It was a make-right call. If you remember in the third quarter, Jared Goff got punched in the face and threw an interception. No call. That pass interference was a make-right call. It evened things out. We deserve to win. I don't want to hear it from anyone else.
Yeah, and, whatever way that offensive passing flag went, I appreciate how well the entire time, even with, a penalty,
So
getting open against Jalen Ramsey with the game on the line is a pretty good feat for your number 2, I guess, number 3 receiver with the addition of.
Hard to say in that, yeah. The Cowboys offense, I'm shocked we were able to hold them to 17 points. What an accomplishment.
And, unfortunately, I do think the NFC has four potential playoff teams in there. So I can't wait to see how like, if you're looking for wild cards after week one, it's like, oh, I think all three are in that division.
Yeah, it honestly could be. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, and like the Rams looked great. No one's more fun to watch than the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
And then you got the Seahawks and Rams are just as well run and effective as ever.
How did you do week one betting?
Betting, I've been doing this thing where I'm betting the most fun line of the week. So I would have been up on the weekend. Unfortunately, the offensive pass interference reared its ugly head in the Cincinnati game as well. I figured Joe Burrow, he's gonna just light up this kind of milquetoast Charger team that, it's ironic they're called the Chargers because they're so injured they're already dead.
Dude, he got you. Fat Randy had a chance to tie it up, and his calf, I guess, cramped because it's constantly carrying 280 pounds.
Yeah, no, I feel bad. I had there's a kid, Caleb. He's a wide receiver at Arizona. I've been running routes with him over the summer, and I got him into betting, and he lost his first ever sports bet, an 8-leg parlay that would have hit on that Randy Bullock.
Wait, his first ever sports bet was an 8-leg parlay?
8-leg parlay. He took advantage of a promotion from an offshore sports book. He laid it down. So he missed the bet on that kick. And the next day, this poor college student gets COVID down in the quarantine dorm.
Okay. Yeah. It's almost better for a bettor to miss their first bet. I feel like there's nothing more dangerous than someone making their first bet, winning big, and thinking that's how betting works.
Do you have a significant first bet in your history?
No, I honestly don't remember. I think I was like 21 and betting on the Cardinals then was not a good idea.
Yeah, I actually do have my first sports bet. I was on the right side of the Blair Walsh shank in the Vikings Seahawks postseason game like 6 years ago.
Wow.
It just hooked me forever, and that's why we're hosting these podcasts today right here on the Props Network.
Hell yeah, baby.
This box is gorgeous in there.
Look good in what?
You look good in this little box.
Thank you.
I love these plants.
Okay, the big Walkowski shirt, baby. Wish we could have had it this year.
Yeah, maybe when there's a vaccine,
Yeah.
Okay, so you ready to get into it? I think we have 8 each, and we're gonna go tit for tat.
Sounds good. All these are props, player props, game props, whatever kind of props we could find.
Okay, so I'll let you start.
All right. Speaking of Michael Gallup, I found over 81 receiving yards for this week, plus 115. Here's the thing. Cowboys offense, a lot of weapons. That scares me a little bit, but he looked great. If it wasn't for that bad pass interference call, he would have had, I think, over 80 yards. His snap count was really, really promising. He played the most snaps of any wide receiver other than Amari Cooper in week one. He's playing the Falcons this week. Falcons secondary is bad. It just gave up, I think, if we're talking fantasy, 46 fantasy points to Seahawks wide receivers. So there's plenty of space for all the Cowboys wide receivers to go off. Blake Jarwin is out for the Cowboys. Dak's going to need another target that he trusts. He's got Michael Gallup. Over 81. It's a little risky, but it's plus 115. So you're not laying any money. It's pretty good odds. And it's fun. It's fun to bet the over.
And I like that thinking. And, the Atlanta Falcons wasn't just bad. By certain metrics against Seattle, they were historically bad. Out of all Russell Wilson's completions, single one that was thrown into a tight window. That means for this there wasn't a guy within 2 yards of any of his pass catchers. I'm going to guess that it was poorly for this Atlanta secondary. There are a couple lines I looked at that would maybe affirm your bet. I'll cancel these because, you kind of went to that same territory. But Cowboys, Falcons, each team with 2+ touchdowns over 1 field goal is -162 at a book we shall not name. And Cowboys, Falcons total touchdowns over +135, +132 at DraftKings Sportsbook. I kind of like that. That looks like a 38-34 game to me.
Yeah, could be. Could be. I don't remember what I took for my game line on that. I'm pretty sure I took the Falcons to cover, but the over would probably, I'm sure that's the biggest over of the week, but might be a good one to bet on.
It has to be. So I'll go into my bets. I will go with Jerry plus 12,000 most receiving yards. I know Denver
for the game. Okay.
For the game, for most week 2 receiving yards, Jerry Judy. And I know they're playing Pittsburgh. I know Cortland's back. And to be honest, Jerry Judy had kind of a shaky week 1, but I noticed
big drops there.
He had another big drop first half that killed the drive. I did notice he was so open every play. Like, he demonstrated to me an ability to get just open by 5 to 7 yard windows. Yep. And I think he's among the best receivers in the league in terms of separation. So I know it's just his second game and this line's very high for like a $10 bet. I think Judy is that kind of a blue chip player that there's going to be great value. He's 12,000 to, he's 120 to 1 there. He's 90 to 1. So I think him taking advantage of that window seems like a fun play for your money at this Sunday.
Heck yeah. I love Jerry Judy. I love the Broncos. I'm so sad they lost.
Yeah, they're totally on Fanjo. That's the worst clock management this side.
Worst. Like, the Titans were handing them the game, and they couldn't pull it out.
Yeah, I guess Walkowski was going to miss that kick, but he certainly did.
They were just banking on a miss. I got another one for you. This one might bum you out. I've got the Packers second half at -160 against the Lions. This is just a matter of, I think the Lions will play it tight in the first half because they tend to do that. And then I think they will fall apart in the second half because they tend to do that as well. Here's some numbers you're not going to want to hear. Last year, the Lions were 5-11 in the second half. In week 1, they obviously started 0-1 after giving up 21 unanswered fourth quarter points. Packers -160 second half. I would even look for Packers -2.5 second half if you can get better odds on that. But -160 is not bad for what I think will probably be a second half blowout.
Yeah, and I think the Packers are going to score a lot of points in this game. I've touched upon the level of injuries in the Lions secondary. This is not the team you want to play with 4 quarters. Yeah. And also of note to me, last year, I think we all recall that a certain Monday night game between the Packers and the Lions had some of the shadiest reffing in NFL history. Do you know who's reffing this week 2 game?
Oh, no. Same dude?
The same dude.
Yikes.
Blakeman, resident of Omaha, Nebraska, returns to the scene of the crime with the victim. I'm already traumatized by this game. You're going to see the Lions come out so guns in the first half, but I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with this offense. The defense did not look there to me, but it brings me to my next pick, actually. I see most passing yards this week, Matthew Stafford, 11-1 at FanDuel. I mean, he's going to have to move the ball to keep the Lions in this game. But he's been able to move the ball on Green Bay over the past few years, and I think he'll be playing behind prohibitively. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the 383 territory for this one, and even 100 could be on the table. So, yeah, I think there's great value there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you would think like, oh, there's injuries in the secondary. Maybe we go Rodgers. But no, the Packers, they have a balanced offense.
They can run it, yeah.
Aaron Jones will be running. Anyone will be running on this team, and Stafford's going to be behind 14 points in the fourth quarter. And if there was a line on Stafford fourth quarter passing yards, blindly take the over.
Yeah, take the over, even if it's 125.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder would take that bet in a heartbeat. You should too.
Oh, speaking of quarterbacks that could do well, Phillip Rivers. How about his week one? Gotta love it.
It's just nice to be right every once in a while. I thought Phil was washed last. What do you know? He's also washed up this year.
But check this out. I'm taking Phillip Rivers 24 or more completions in this game at plus 100. Here's why. He sucks.
If I gave you a line of those completions, 5.5 will be over 8 yards. Do you take the over or under?
Over 8 yards? No, under.
Yeah.
That's why I think this is a good bet. He could throw 24. Last week he threw the ball 46 times, right? The furthest pass attempt he had in the air was 25 yards. It was incomplete. The furthest completion he had in the air was 21 yards. He threw it to his running backs 17 times and had 17 completions. He loves to just dump it off. So if he's trying to get 24 completions, I think he'll get 15 between Nyheim Hines and Jonathan Taylor, and then another 10 like little small routes, Paris Campbell, T.Y. Hilton. I think this is a gimme because of how much he's going to have to throw the ball. And against the Vikings, who are going to keep the game close. 24 plus, I'll take it.
Yeah, and I like that pick. This is actually my favorite line of the weekend. I do like the money on the Vikings. And I do think that the completions will probably go up because the Colts are everyone talks about how deep the Colts are. Well, they have a lot of injury issues in week one, and I can't think of an offense that depends on rookies as much as the Colts do. Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor out of Wisconsin. They need to be incorporated in that offense. And is Phil Rivers going to trust a rookie? No, we're in pass.
Yeah. I think Nyheim Hines is going to have another really good week.
Should I pick him up in our guillotine league?
There's no way that you'd be able to.
I can't pick up anybody. I'm so screwed. I've been trying to pick up people all week. I can't even get Miller out of Tampa Bay.
I got Malcolm Brown.
Yeah, good. I bid on Malcolm Brown, so you got him. I'm stuck starting crappy old Kerryon Johnson in Green Bay. I need an alternative, and I know he's going to eliminate me. Happy trails. Well, we talked about the fun kicker exploits. I bet you really enjoy it when a kicker melts down.
Do I? Yeah. I get mad because, if a kicker can't make a 30-yard kick, it makes me think I might as well be playing in the NFL this game. They might as well be paying me $100,000. Here's the thing, and this is me talking completely out of my ass. Stephen Walkowski missed 4 kicks last week. All of them were within 40 yards, I think. Maybe one of them was over 40 yards. You're telling me you put pads on me and you throw me out there. I couldn't make one of those kicks? I think I could make one of those kicks.
No, I've seen your videos. I would not be the one to tell you that. Maybe some of our viewers would, but I've got ultimate faith in that leg. Give me that nickname from Zerline. It is Steve the Leg, even though it doesn't rhyme. No. and while we're at kickers, let's talk about Walkowski. Let's talk about this line. I like the under. Longest book in Jags Titans under 47.5. In what world is Walkowski allowed to a 8-yard field goal in this game? He's got a 25-yard range, and I don't think I don't know. Maybe the Jaguars kicker is able to pull it out. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the Jaguars kicker off the top of my head. It's still Josh Lambo?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, so maybe Josh, I still think that the Jaguars are are absolutely tanking on this season. I think that was a game that was determined by putting a 50-year-old quarterback in 100-degree weather rather than anything the Jaguars did. So I like this under. I like this. I like the Titans in every money line parlay this week. I think you can actually tie them with the Chiefs and Saints and get those three money lines at +1.6. I'm all over that this weekend.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Sorry, that's not a prop, but I think that will be profitable. Sorry.
And hey, my next thing is also about a old quarterback. I'm taking Ryan Fitzpatrick, 17 plus rushing yards at -110. Yeah. We've all seen Fitzy play. He loves to run around. It doesn't matter that he's 48 years old. He ran it 5 times last week. I don't know. I think he only had less rushing attempts than Cam, Kyler, and Lamar. He's maybe Josh Allen too, but he's up there. He's one of the guys who will always get at least 3 or 4 rushing attempts. 17 yards seems very doable, especially against the Bills defense that will put a lot of pressure on him. He's going to get flushed out of the pocket pretty often. Jordan Howard is bad. Matt Breida didn't get used that often. So I think he might end up being, 5 carries, 21 yards.
Yeah, and I think sometimes you'll see like, oh, this defense is bad. Maybe this prop over will hit. I think this is an instance where the defense is good, and that makes me like the over.
Yeah.
When do quarterbacks run? When the coverage is good. The coverage is great in Buffalo.
Yep.
And Ryan Fitzpatrick, he always takes advantage of like the margins in this game. So when things shift nominally in his favor, I think he's going to use that Harvard brain to tuck it and run it to much aplomb.
He's a smart guy. He'll figure it out. He'll get me my 17 yards. If he can't do it, who can?
Well, let's talk overs. Let's talk mediocre quarterbacks destroying overs. There's one. I talk about the Chargers, how injured they are. The Pouncey Twins center, he's out for the season. They're playing the Chiefs. They're going to be playing behind versus the Chiefs in all likelihood. So I like Tyrod Taylor completions over 19 and a half. And that's
going to have to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's -110. And that's at BetMGM, official sportsbook of the Detroit Lions.
I like that.
Yeah, and I mean, even in this game, like there wasn't featured in that passing game week 1, like if you give 7 passes to Eckler that I think are kind of a given in this matchup, I think that it's going to be possible for Tyrod Taylor to complete 13 passes over the rest of this game. He'll probably teams throw more against the Chiefs than they do against any other form of competition. This will be no exception. I couldn't decide whether I liked the over on completions or yards. Turns out I like both.
I would definitely take completions. You don't know how I don't know about Tyrod. Like if he gets 20 completions, that could easily be 140 yards. Like I don't know if he has. I mean, he has Mike Williams as a deep threat, but Keenan Allen's going to catch a lot of like 6 and 7 yard passes. Same with Austin Eckler, Hunter Henry. But I like the completions prop. Yeah,
because they're the rare team. Like they're kind of like when the Patriots were just finding their offense. They're like a team whose running game is their passing game.
All right. Hey, how about this? A revenge game for Frank Gore, Jets versus 49ers.
Ooh.
He's going to get the nod at running back here. But I'm going to bet on Raheem Mostert over 64.5 rushing yards at +100. I guess you can get it over 100 yards at +240. I don't know if I'd go that far. I would stay at 64.5. He has big playability. I think he could bust a 35-yard run. He's already halfway there. This game is going to be, I think, pretty lopsided. I think the 49ers will have the lead basically the entire time. They're going to run the ball a lot. Garoppolo probably won't throw the ball more than 20 times. And if he does, it'll like 5 of it will go to Mostert. But give him 15 carries like he had last week. He'll get you the 64.5 rushing yards. He seems to be the lead back in San Francisco. They might try to get McKinnon more involved this week, but I like Mostert as a lead back, and in a game that's going to be a blowout, give me the lead backs over.
Yeah, I think that's a good decision. My only concern is if Kittle's not in there, maybe that turns them away from the running game a little bit. And also, if they're up big, maybe they are going to pivot and try and get Jerick McKinnon back in the mix.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I do think Raheem Mostert is probably going to obliterate his preseason projections. There's a great level of usage, maybe by his one long touchdown last week.
It was a little, yeah.
If you see this team, they're very injured right now. Debo's out, George Kittle's probably out. So yeah, you gotta love the Raheem Mostert over here. They're gonna play ball control, and I think he obliterates that.
Hell yeah, baby.
Now, I talk about BetMGM. A BetMGM sportsbook is live for legal betting in Colorado, Indiana, Nevada, New Jersey, and West Virginia. Are you betting on the NFL or NBA this season? I hope you are. Why are you watching? If not, how about the U.S. Open? Could have been tennis. Now it's golf. So take some of that action to BetMGM, official sportsbook of the Detroit Lions. And why? Because for a limited time, BetMGM has a special signing bonus for Props Network listeners. All you have to do is create a new account at BetMGM and use code WalkOn20 to get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $500. That's right. Just enter code WALKON, all capitals, 20, and up to a $500 bonus bankroll is yours. Then you will enjoy all BetMGM has to offer, like earning $10 free bets every week in the Money Monday Club, multi-sport parlay boosters, and the new Edit My Bet feature that allows players to change their bet tickets after they're submitted. So try BetMGM, a full sportsbook of the Detroit Lions, with code WALKON20 now while the offers last. You must be 21 or older to bet online. And if you or someone have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, beautifully done. I'm glad we have the same partners as the Lions. We've had the same level of achievement in our industries. They've just been 6 years longer than me. So there you go. So I think I'm going to do a couple things here. I have the most fun bet of the week, and then I have the least fun bet of the week.
Great.
From a book we shall not name, will Andy Reid wear the face shield? Yes. Minus 225. No. Plus 170. Andy Reid, he's a self-aware guy. He leans into the public persona of him being kind of a jolly punchline. That's why I ask him, what do you use your Super Bowl ring for? He says, I use it to get free hamburgers. He's a ham. So given the amount of joy the face shield spread, I'm taking the yes here. Minus 225 for Andy Reid to wear it. All about this line.
That's a very funny, great line. I definitely think he will wear it. I don't know if it'll make it the whole game like it did last time. I mean, by the second half, he had it pulled up like over his face last week because it was fogging up so much.
Yeah, and it might be tough. The no could be good because Los Angeles has had like a lot of heat waves. It's amazing. Like a lot of like sports betting sites, they will use a meteorologist. Let's bring in a meteorologist for this face shield bet.
Yeah. I mean, but that could also be good for the yes because he doesn't want to wear a mask. But it could be good for the no because of the fires, and he wants to cover his nose and mouth with a mask. Hard bet here, really tough.
This is the most fun line of the week, and it's the best line of the week, I would argue.
I wish all NFL bets were just like cosmetic things like this.
I mean, honestly, we talk about coach attire that would have hit. Last week was the first time Matt Patricia didn't wear black, so that would have been probably plus 600.
Wow.
A little bit more body positive. He's bringing out more aspects of the Roy G. Biv spectrum to his wardrobe. So he's looking like the blue Kool-Aid Lions fans are no longer drinking after week one.
All right. Did you want to do your not fun one, or is that after I do one?
Back and forth. We're playing tennis, my friend.
All right. I've got I'm going back to my guy, Cooper Kupp.
That is
Over 58.5 receiving yards, minus 115. He did not really get targeted in week 1. I think he had 3 catches for like 40 yards. But he led the team in wide receiver snaps in week 1. He had more than Robert Woods. He had more than Josh Reynolds, any of them. He's a slot guy. And they're playing against the Eagles, who have Darius Slay, who you know very well. And Darius Slay is an outside corner. So I think he'll avoid Darius Slay. I think Robert Woods will get the bulk of the Darius Slay snaps. Cooper Kupp only played 7 of his 59 snaps on the outside. He's really involved in the slot. So I think that Robert Woods will get blanketed. Cooper Kupp will get, 7 or 8 catches, 75 yards, over 58.5. I'm taking it.
And I like your logic here. I'm with you every step of the way. Can I just maybe edit your assessment of Darius Slay a second?
Yes.
Darius Slay, there's 2 ways to be a great cornerback. You can be a shutdown guy, or you can be a playmaker. Like Darius Slay will those yards. He will give up some catches, but his value comes from the 2 or 3 plays he makes a game that kind of turns things. So you might see decent production against him. And I think the Rams are my favorite team to back this weekend. Given Philly's O-line injuries, it's hard to imagine Aaron Donald just controlling that game completely and totally.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really square bet. I talked about this on the blog that 95% of money is going to LA. I think they're -1 right now. But I got to do it. The only reason I'm scared is because the Rams have a terrible track record going into Philadelphia. I think they're 0-6 in their last 6 meetings in Philly.
Yeah, the Dick Vermeil Bowl. How about
what do you got? This is not a fun one.
Okay. And this one, I'm sorry. I placed this one because I think the odds were too good. Okay. First NFL team to have a breakout of COVID from a book name. We have Cowboys +250, Chiefs +300, Jags +400, Dolphins +500, Bucks +500, Broncos +500, Bengals, Colts +600, Browns +700. So you have 8 or 9 options, and then any other team is even odds.
Oh, that's so interesting.
So I understand there are these hot spots, but given the probability laws of just this outcome, the math tells me it's a smart wager to put $25 on any other team outbreak. And do I feel bad making money on a corona outbreak? No, because we saw our U.S. senators do the same thing with insider trading this February. So
my gut instinct was to say bet it on any of the Florida teams, but you have you only named 8 teams, so it's a 24. That's great. You can't pass that up.
Yeah, I have the field. You're able to make more money off COVID in the NFL than Josh Bellamy. Have you followed the Josh Bellamy story?
No.
He was an NFL receiver for 8 years. He claimed $3 million in PPP loans for a company that does not exist. And he was caught spending $100,000 at a casino. And the feds are like, yeah, you can't do that.
Wait, is Bellamy the one that got in trouble for the charity fraud?
Ooh, let's look that up. That's exactly the sort of thing we look up. Josh Bellamy charity fraud.
Oh man, but yeah, I would. You got to take the field on that one, even though I do think it's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars, no question.
Yeah, it will be the Jacksonville Jaguars. Although I could see that their tank job goes so poorly that they're healthy the entire season. Trevor Lawrence is going to end up being a Detroit Lion next year.
They're the only team that stays healthy.
Yeah, healthiest team.
If the Lions get the number 1 pick, they have to take Trevor Lawrence, right?
Oh, anyone has to take Trevor Lawrence. Best
literally anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, the Lions. Yeah. The Lions are probably a top half talent, but they start the season. Now they have the Packers, Cardinals, and Saints. So losing that Bears game could probably put us not just 0-1, but 0-4. And then, Trevor, come on back, baby. I mean, our fans will hate your haircut and they'll call you gay slurs, but aside from that, there's a couple good restaurants I could take you
to. Oh, here's one. I think we'll certainly. This is one of my best bets for the props. Derrick Henry, 115 plus rushing yards at plus 110. Why are those odds so good?
Those are great odds.
He had 31 carries in week 1. Their whole offense revolves around him carrying the ball. The only threat they have is the play action. Like the defense has to think that Derrick Henry's going to get the ball every play or the offense doesn't work. If he gets 31 carries again, last week he had 31 carries for 116 yards, 3.7 average. Bad game, and he still had 116 yards. If he gets 25 carries, he'll hit 115 against the Jaguars. His career average is 4.7 yards per carry. I think he'll be closer to that in this game. Give him 25 carries and he'll get it.
Yeah, my only trepidation with this one is the A.J. Brown injury. Maybe that makes it easier for Jacksonville to just put 8 men in the box. And Derrick Henry can beat it, but that's the only way I could see it going poorly for them. And like historically, the Titans, we might not know this because we're not AFC South fans, but the Titans destroy the Jaguars. Yeah. I'm being good friends with Jacksonville patron saint Jake Head. Yeah. He's espouses for years. The Titans, they stole the Jaguars playbook back in that's the reason they beat them in 2001 to go to the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of bad blood, and it's not a rivalry because Tennessee's always comes out on top.
Yeah. This used to be every Thursday night. Every season, this would be a Thursday night game. I'm bummed it's not a Thursday night game this year.
Man, Thursday night games, backdoor bro, gave it to me bad last night.
Oh, I bought the points. I got the Browns at -3.5.
Oh, I had a -6. I was chilling the entire game, and then with seconds left, Burrow converts it. Not a great night for me last night, 0-2. I took the Celtics to go against my Heat series bet, which is looking pretty good.
That's a great bet. Heat are 10-1 against the spread in the playoffs. Yeah, I've been making so much money on them.
Yeah, I've been saying it all week. Miami over Milwaukee, it made me about $90, but it felt amazing.
Yep. Uh-oh. Well, folks, looks like Joel's frozen. I guess I'll chat with you guys for a second here. We're almost through our bets. Joel will probably be getting on in a second. How about that game last night? One of the better Thursday night games. Hey, look at me, I'm full screen now. One of the better Thursday night games in memory. Definitely better than last week's. Joe Burrow looked great. Baker Mayfield looked great. I'm stalling here. Let me talk to you guys about something that I wrote for the Props Network. I wrote a blog where I pick every single NFL game, all 16 games. Last week I did this. I went 9-5-2. So the bets aren't terrible. If you want to go check it out, it's on thepropsnetwork.com. You can look at all my bets. You can bet on a few of them if you want, if you like them. Yeah, it'll be fun. I just got a text from Joel. Oh, I don't know what he's up to. I don't know if I should get out of here or if I should I'll give you my last bet with Joel not here because it's a fun one. Are you ready for this? If you want to make guaranteed money, here's what you do. And if you think the Chiefs are going to win. Instead of taking the Chiefs money line and you have $170 to spare, bet $120 on the Chiefs, -6.5 at -150 on DraftKings. Then bet $50 on the Chiefs to win by 1 through 6 points, plus 150 on PointsBet. You've got all the Chiefs outcomes covered if they win. If the Chiefs win by 7 or more, you'll net $55. If they win by 6 or less, you'll net $55. And if you were just to take the Chiefs money line here with $170, you would only make $42 at their -400 money line. So give me that. If they lose, you're out $170, but if they win, which they almost definitely will, you'll make some pretty good cash. I'm getting a message from our producer here. Let me see what's up. Oh, Joel's trying to get on. I'd say if he's not back on in like 2 or 3 minutes, I'll get us out of here. Is anybody watching? Let's get some comments going in the chat. What's up? And if not, then I guess I'm just rambling to myself. Hope everyone's staying healthy out there. I should get paid. I should get paid to be a lawyer that does the, what's that thing called? When you just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Joel's back. Oh, and he's on a cell phone. You actually look...
Hey, let me get my Bluetooth headphones. Can you hear me all right, 52?
I can hear you. You look great.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? This is live TV. I don't think Joel can hear me. Joel, if you can read lips, read my lips. We can hear you. Oh, and he's gone again. All right, I think I'm going to close it out here. Seems like the right thing to do. Thank you guys for watching the Prop Drop on the Props Network. We'll be... Oh, Joel's back. Again? Can you hear me, Joel? Maybe this is the show. Maybe we don't talk about props and maybe we just do see like how often we can... Joel, can you hear me? I'm going to guess no, he can't. So, I think we should end it here. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next week. I'll be around. I think I'll be around every Friday. We'll see how the scheduling works out. But thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.